Hello and welcome to Channel Sport on Sunday. I'm Ken Ochonago. It's hot. Sports always hot. Finidi George, super legend for the Super Eagles. Where we got to the World Cup for the very first time in 1994. Before then, it was always been the nearly team. 78 qualification was heartbreaking, 82, all when you go back, it has always been that way. And then FIFA, in their, how do I say it? Okay, in the expansion bid, when they expanded the world, say, okay, fine, Africa's not having one, you can have 3 sports. And yes, we remember that game because it was in Algeria and we needed to pick a draw. We scored that goal by George Finidi. And, we're looking at USA 94. Then Algeria equalized. I tell you, the last 5 minutes of the game, I told someone, I don't know how many times I went to hell and other Nigerians and came back. But we eventually qualified. And that was, going over there and Yakini scoring was our first goal where he was shouting, Allahu Akbar, saying praises to the Lord. Finidi moved on there. Of course, then he played for the Sharks. It wasn't in Nigeria before he moved on to Europe. Played for Ajax, walked into that Ajax team. Was arguably then the best outside right in the world. Won the Champions League. Or we say they won the Champions League undefeated. Undefeated, they went unbeaten. And then came to Nigeria in 1994. We won, of course, we won the AFCON. We won the AFCON before we went to the World Cup. And his accolades are immeasurable. As a manager, he came down to Nigeria and managed Enyimba. Not just managed Enyimba, but he won the league with Enyimba, the NPFL title with Enyimba. And of course, within that period, he became an assistant of the national team coach. And for about 20 months, he was on that role before the tenure of the coach expired and Finidi was made the head coach. Some of us who says, we are trying to put in an indigenous coach to manage a national team, we're all happy when that happened. But then, before then, in a 6-team group, we've played, you are supposed to play 10 because you're playing 5 teams home and then playing them away. So you play them at your home, so that means 10. Because we play 10 games, to qualify. Top that group automatically qualify. Come second, and then you have another chance of trying to look at, where are the best losers who have to go on a playoff in order to get there. So Finidi, before he took over, we played 2 games. We played Lesotho. We couldn't beat them. We played Zimbabwe on a neutral ground. And we couldn't beat them. So we had 2 points from our first 2 games before he came in. He came in and he played the first one against South Africa and New York and also played the draw. They were lost to Benin. So the result wasn't too good. And the minister summoned the FA and Finidi himself. Well, at the end of the day, a lot of things happened. According to Finidi, the FA assured him they were giving their backing. But from what we gathered on getting to Port Harcourt, while he alighted from the flight, he was greeted with the news that there is a communique from the NFF saying that, yes, we are picking a foreign technical advisor. Mark that, not just a technical advisor, but a foreign technical advisor, probably who will supervise Finidi. And from the kind of fallout from there is Finidi throwing in his resignation. A lot of things has happened. We'll look at that. It will be the main thrust of our discussion today on this show. Possibly, not possibly, I know we are going to have a guest who will be with us and also look at it, of course, plus my eggheads in the house. But so brace up yourself. We shall also open the lines for you guys to join the show. And a lot of things did happen. If you needed the players, their results, where are we, where we are now on the log, and how far you think we can go. But apart from that, the league also ends next week Sunday. That is the league. When I mean the league, our own league, the NPFL. It was the derby of Nigeria. For those of us who followed football in the 70s, 80s, 90s, it was the derby of Nigeria when our shooting stars, and whenever they take on Enugu Rangers, it was always the derby of Nigeria. And shooting says, if you are going to win this league, you are not going to win it right here in Ibadan. They ran away with a 1-goal victory, and that means going to the last day, Rangers have that 2-point lead, but Remo is there, Enyimba is there a little bit far off. So we don't know how it's going to end. Shooting, they're also there in the fourth because they also, are in the continent. Brace up for next week. But this week we'll just give you some tantalizers and tell you and see, how the build-up is going to be. Doma played yesterday. Doma United was one team that started this league hot on fire. They were up there. But right now, it's like the first stanza. And the baptism of fire that they are having in the NPFL has not been what they anticipated. But then we want to see more privately owned, and run clubs in the league. We want to see where probably the government also divest their interest and say, look, let us see how we can make these teams, independent of government and people's sponsorship, so that they can stand on their own as professional outfits. So we'll look at that and also go to the Euros, where Albania announced, yes, they announced their presence. They announced their presence in the European Championship with a blast. No other way to announce yourself. But break the door and just walk in. That was what they did. My God, let us see, because when we are, if we are ready, we'll just go straight and take our guest when he joins us, in the house. But before then, Hello. For our guest. All right. I'm told our guest is ready. So let us see if we can have him. Where are you? I've not seen his face. When I see his face, I know we are ready. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing him yet. Can we have before we announce him? While we're trying to get him, Okpe is in the house. Theo the Catalan is in the house.
Baka Salah to our Muslim faithful worldwide, and happy Father's Day. All men of goodwill.
No, all fathers.
All men of goodwill. Baka Salah to our Muslim faithful worldwide.
Yes.
Happy Father's Day to all men of goodwill.
Okay. But I thought you would have just said Happy Father's Day to all fathers.
Okay. So, Ken,
no, but I thought you said
happy Father's Day to all fathers.
Hey. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I think yesterday you started with where we are and why we are here. Segun Degba said Nigeria football is at the crossroad.
Yeah.
And I added something without a shortcut. George Finidi as a player, nobody can contribute whatever he did. He tried at the crossroad. Remember Nigeria versus Burkina Faso. We left our plane short at the hotel and we had to cut our long pant down into short. And that day, Finidi kept providing basis of assist.
Baba, 4 goals.
And
4 goals for
Nigerian made our Finidi George that went ahead 3 years after.
And that was his debut.
Yes, 3 years after to get the Dutch League and Champions League unbeaten as a first-team player. Now he came back home, got the league title, the Enyimba, got the national team job, and from nowhere we are seeing this. But I think our football should be stronger for this.
Okay, the Catalan is in the house. Theophilus Agbonao. Theo, how are you?
I'm very good. Good afternoon, Baka Salah, and of course, happy Father's Day. Like Okpe said, very torrid past 24 hours. very torrid past 24 hours, and it's really sad. I have a lot to say, but I would let me just make it brief. For instance, I'm the youngest person on the show. And regardless of whatever or however I feel with what somebody has done, especially if that person is deemed a leader, I would find a more civil way to communicate how disgruntled I am, rather than going online in front of 21,000 people, in front of the whole world, and just making a mess of the whole thing. It's really, really sad. But like quite rightly put it, we hope that our football is stronger for this.
We hope our football is stronger for this. And who else? You know, sometimes when you are in a difficult moment, you run to certain people. And you put the pressure on them. Let's have Mitch in the house. Where is Mitch? Where is Mitch? Hello, Mitch. Where are you? Where is Mitch?
I am where you want me to be. Last Sunday to you, Ken, and your very good team. And I hope the men there will become fathers. And
they are fathers.
Sooner than later.
Yes, they are fathers, Mitch. Everybody, even the baby boy in the house is already a father.
Okay, Makarios. Let me use the Greek word Makarios. Okay. Blessed are those who really look at their offspring.
Yes. Mitch, you know, like I said, when things are difficult, we run to you. You know, say, okay, come and dissect this. Come and use your wisdom. Come and use, you know, I don't know what other term I want to use. In the past few days, since we lost to Benin, it has been something, you know, and you know, our football's fair, if that word exists, you know. From the minister to the board, to the coach and his team, to the football fans, the players, and everywhere. It's been one hell, you know, of chaos, you know, that we are having here. But sometimes they say, you know, out of that, you know, chaotic madness, I mean, you bring out the purity, you purify the system, and then you work out things. When the whole world is running wild, and you keep your head cool, probably focused, you will see where you are. Your destination will be clearer, you know, than losing your head among the crowd. Let's start with this. How precarious is our position now in our quest to be in the USA, Mexico and Canada in 2026?
Let me say that we are in a cliffhanger, and they've made it even worse by really telling us exactly that they are looking for a magician, and only a magician can tell you exactly what he wants to do, and if he does it well, you praise him for his magical skills. We have seen the confusion that has guided our football in this last 4 days or 5 days, and it has revolved around the fact that we don't have a vision of our game. The vision for our game is totally missing. If we had a vision for our game, we wouldn't even enter into this mangled web of confusion. Indeed, losing a game doesn't take away the dimension of a sector or an industry that can really get Nigerians going, because football, they call it, it's a national asset. But when you don't have a vision guiding this game, there is no policy direction. And even if you have a policy direction, there is no policy guidance. What we say, you know, a guide to how to even implement the policy. You find that it's all flip-flop, shilly-shally. We move from one end to another, looking for things we can't even really put a hand on. Come to think of it, you have a World Cup campaign which started badly. The man who started it was given an opportunity to even stay with us, and he went as far as bringing a silver medal, for which he had a compensation beyond imagination. You come second, and you're given a house, and you're given MON. I wonder what they will do if you come first. But I mean, that's the story. He took us to the World Cup campaigns. We couldn't beat Lesotho at home, Ken. We couldn't beat Lesotho at home. Get the story. Yeah. We went on neutral ground. We couldn't beat Zimbabwe. The same Zimbabwe Lesotho beat on away ground. And then, of course, the big team many people thought were the big team in the group. We played a draw with them. And, of course, you know what happened. That was in Uyo. And suddenly we went to Abidjan, where we brought joy to Nigerians. Abidjan was a place Nigerian football found again its bounce. And some of us thought perhaps that would be the turning point. And we got a draw. And who was behind these 2 games? You had a George Finidi. I don't want to judge this George because the fairness has been thrown out of the window. You don't sit down in a meeting and agree on the way forward, and just when a man wants to get down to settle his thoughts, you tell him that you are bringing a foreign technical advisor. And for God's sake, what is the vision of our game? If you're going for a foreign technical advisor, you will have stayed with the foreign technical advisor who started the campaign with you. So what happened? He didn't really only start the campaign, you compensated him comfortably, meaning you were satisfied with his performance. So why didn't you maintain him? Why go back and bring his assistant because the man refuses the kind of offer he was made? So you can see the big problem we went to. That does not take away the fact that we have a team of players now who perhaps don't understand what it is to wear the color of the national team.
Okay,
indeed.
Mitch, let me because so that we can. I mean, you mentioned something, and I want us to take it there. I mean, we move to where you are going to eventually, because it is part of the unimaginable. Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. Unimaginable. Things that have occurred in the past 24 hours in our sphere. Let me ask you this: are you saying the NFF or the ministry, like they said, do not have a right, or it's inappropriate for them to feel that they want to interfere? Like you said, if we are already in a cliffhanger, don't you think maybe they needed an intervention instead of just sitting behind when they say this thing is running, this our lizard, our goat, don't they run, enter inside bush? How do we just grab it back and save the situation? Are you saying that they should have intervened at this stage?
That's not what that's not the point I'm trying to make. I'm only saying, if all the stakeholders, the critical stakeholders, those decision makers decide to take a position, and that position is well accepted, and that position is well understood, why do you get to change the dimension of it? The sports ministry over time knows that if Nigerian football is sick, then sports in Nigeria is sick. That has been the trend. That has been, for me, the vogue.
Okay, go on. Unmute your mic, Mitch. Mitch, you are muted. Unmute your mic. Unmute your mic. Good. Go on.
Why will you think Finidi should come and become an assistant? A man who you have given a responsibility for 1 year to test his mind, and you have the next qualifiers in September. But when we had Peserio, who couldn't get to win 2 games, or even 7, if out of 7, he won 5. He was given an opportunity to stay back. I'm not even saying that Finidi should be the choice. If we can't be satisfied with the output of Finidi, there are other Nigerians who can do the pitch. That is my pertinent point, Ken. I want us to believe that if football is a national asset, every ingredient of that national asset should be sourced and cooked here. And beyond even what's this foreign thing we are talking about, Finidi had to go outside the shores of Nigeria to get his assistants. 3 of them tested Nigeria, some of them of mixed dimensions, but of Nigerian root. He brought them. And now you tell him to come and play second fiddle. What will happen to all those assistants? I think the guy took the best decision. And I'm very excited that for the first time, we have a Nigerian coach who has looked at issues and said, look, I am calling it a day. I have resigned. Money is not everything. I can't be waiting to be given what you call rubbish. And of course, he didn't accept the rubbish. He has called it a day. He will go back, tell his assistants, this campaign has ended. Let's look for another day. But you see, the good point about it is that the experience of this gamble Finidi had with the national team will stay with him for quite a while. He will use it well when he has another opportunity. But if you had a foreign technical or foreign manager, he will carry it like we have seen Gennaro, the longest serving Nigerian foreign coach in Nigeria, carrying all the gains to Benin Republic. Even though when he was here, we couldn't even see exactly what he gave to our game after such a long stay. And so I'm not excited about going to get a foreign technical advisor. Somebody is trying to be escapist. Let's stay here. Let's see exactly. We didn't go to the last World Cup. If we don't go to this other World Cup, it will be deeply painful. But then we have to really get our game along a defined vision, along a defined policy. We have a 10-year master plan, Ken, for goodness sake. What has happened to that document? The NFA came out with a document when they said Finidi will serve as a chief coach to the foreign technical advisor. And they said they were going to hold a stakeholders conference. What do they want to say in that document? What is there about the statute which has not been defined? We had a situation where the National Assembly of this country went through a bill that will have given NFF a document of direction, a law that will have been domesticated the FIFA statute. That bill passed through the House, passed through the Senate, went to the table of the President. Sports Minister Dare came and ignored it. Of course, to be fair to him, he said, okay, if we cannot stay with that document, we cannot get the President to sign it, let's come with a master plan. That master plan was endorsed by the President. Today, we still have the same party in power, the same direction, if you want to believe that parties in Nigeria stay with their political trust. But then what has happened? We are now groping. We move from a home-based coach. Finidi is not even a home-based coach, come to think of it. Finidi has spent a greater part of his time abroad. So let's not get into all these foreign beats. I think that if we want to prosecute this competition, we can find the best of Nigerians who can do it. That is my position, and I will always stay faithful to it.
Okay, I know my guys also have one or two questions to ask you, but let us just, this 7-point, they have this 7-point communique that came out after the met. Let me just go through some of what we have here. So the executive committee wholeheartedly apologized to Nigerians for the dismal output and subsequent very poor returns of the senior men national team, the Super Eagles, in 4 out of the 10 matches, in the ongoing qualification series for the 2026 FIFA World Cup finals, and pledged to work assiduously and put necessary measures in place to ensure a better prepared squad ahead of the AFCON 2025 qualifiers in September this year, and the resumption of the World Cup qualifiers in March 2025. In fact, the next World Cup qualifier is in March 2025, like what Mitch is trying to say. Then say further to two above, the executive committee resolved to employ an expatriate technical advisor for the Super Eagles in the coming weeks ahead of the AFCON qualifiers and the remaining FIFA World Cup qualifying matches. Then 3, still on one above, the committee resolved to beef up the NFF technical department with more qualitative hands. Equally, the technical and development subcommittee will be rejigged with immediate effect. Then he said that notwithstanding the challenges that attended the World, okay, those are World Cup qualifying matches owing to a 38 hour nationwide industrial action. But before we go to 4, Mitch, let me just look at that number 3. It says still further to one above, the committee resolved to beef up the NFF technical department with more qualitative hands. Equally, the technical and development subcommittee will be rejigged with immediate effect. We've looked at this, the committees and the department. And people are asking, do we really have a technical department? Who are there? We'll know of the head of the technical department. Who are other persons who are there? But they are saying, okay, now they want to kind of maybe beef it up, expand it, bring in more quality hands, and also rejig.
If you don't understand this cloak of dark designs, you may never understand anything. All this they are trying to do is to cover the fact that they are going foreign, pretending that they want to beef. What is the head of the technical department of Nigerian Football Federation is Austin Egwaboy.
Yes.
So you are talking of qualitative. Where can you be more qualitative than having an Eguabon who has been national team coach? I can't even remember how many times.
I think they're not talking about the head. They are saying probably a team, a support staff that will join him. They want to bring add. They want to beef. They want to add more.
Is it today they realize that they needed more staff, even in all departments? It's not just in football. It's not. They are all departments of football. They need to beef up if we are really serious. Ken, let me tell you that what they have said is not new. If you go to the master plan, the 10-year master plan, you have all of these dimensions. Even before that, there was the NFF reform committee. What happened to that report? Go and read it. You see all these things they are rehashing. They just want to, bamboozle us with the fact. I am not against, and if they want to go and sign Carlos Ancelotti to get us to the World Cup, and he does that, I will be the first to go before them and say, thank you for bringing us to the World Cup. But we must have a vision guiding the game. That way, we can join the world and understand. Look at Senegal. After their last World Cup where they beat France, it took them, they missed about 2 World Cups to come back. And then they reject their football. They are moving on track. That's what we need to do. That's what we need to do. It's not about playing a game and winning, and you're apologizing. Why did they apologize when we lost we played a draw with Lesotho in Nigeria? Lesotho. Why didn't they apologize when we played a draw with Zimbabwe? Is it you have a Nigerian coach, somebody is apologizing? What is the difference? Football is a universal game. Okay,
before I bring in Okpe and Antio out, I want to go to that number 4, and that was where you were going to before I called you back and said, let us look at here. They said, notwithstanding the challenges that attended the team's preparation for the 3 and the 4 games of the FIFA World Cup qualifying matches, owing to a 38-hour nationwide industrial action, the board expressed displeasure with the poor attitude of some of the players to the national assignment and unanimously decided in favor of a more robust scouting program of outstanding Nigerian eligible players from across the 4 corners of the universe and who can add tremendous value to the nation's flagship team. The attitude, the commitment of some of the players have been questioned. We also saw a fallout to this, which, I mean, you have, a better comprehension of. What is your take on this? People have said, I think there was a time there was a kind of a code of conduct. There were other things that players had to do. Mitch, but let me just, before you take it, I just want to say this is my personal observation. I have seen that even we, the sporting press, are culprit in this. We celebrate with 1 person in camp, 2 persons in camp, 3 has arrived. How many are now in camp? I have never seen anywhere in the world where the German team or the English team, they say, this one has arrived and that one has arrived. Are you getting me? There should be a date that they are supposed to come. Everybody arrives. But we want to go on a short break, Mitch. When we call you, we answer these questions on how committed our players are and this arrival to the national team. Stay with us in Channel Sports Sunday. When we come back, we shall open the line.
Finidi George's resignation as Super Eagles head coach comes after the Nigeria Football Federation resolved to engage a foreign technical advisor to steer the team in subsequent international matches. The Super Eagles are currently 5th in their World Cup qualification group, following disappointing results against South Africa and Benin Republic. The results sparked demands for swift action to fixing Nigeria's World Cup qualification campaign.
Before the next round of the qualifiers, we have the AFCON qualifiers, which almost all the 6 matches will be played before March next year. And that, by the grace of God, that will show Nigerians the kind of steps we are going to take, or we take to make sure that we qualify for the World Cup.
All right, you're welcome back. It is a Channel Sport on Sunday. We are halfway gone, and at the other half, we're going to open the lines now. Mitch is there. So before you guys join us, let us go straight to Michel Ubi. He is the immediate past president of AIPS in Africa. That's what our veterans, like I said, is our solution finder most times when we're in that logjam. And we call on him and said, Mitch, come and let us pick your brain a little. Let us pick your, pick on your experience a little and see where we are going. Before we went on break, we just read that clause 4, item 4, which I would have them that saying that question. The FA questioned the players' commitment, for this national assignment, and said they want to go out there. Any Nigerian at the four corner of the universe, any Nigerian who is eligible to play for Nigeria, they want to do that because from what they are saying, some of our players are not committed to the national cause. Mitch, are you there?
Very, very much with you, and I don't understand the basis of this article in this communique. Okay, because over time we've been bringing players from all corners of the globe. Ken, there is really nothing novel in that article in the communique.
Tuji Banjo, John Chidoze.
Maybe we need to go to Australia. If we have Nigerians in Australia, we'll bring them to come and play. We should focus on building our game in Nigeria. That is the anchor. That is the skeleton. Once you build your game at home, you can have the luxury of bringing players from anywhere. We have not built our game at home. That's what we are trying to do with the domestic scene, the NPFL, which has brought more excitement this year than you can get. And that is what we need to look at the player Tanimu. He was in Bendel Insurance. He had to go to Tanzania for him to be invited to the national team. You saw his output in the game in Abidjan. He played almost 4 positions in that game that particular day. Commitment is a comportment. It is not just by saying it. You have to show it. You have to demonstrate it. You have to live it. And that's why Victor Osimhen may say, anytime I wear the national colors, you can see that I give 100%. Yes, you want to see more of 100%, but 100% should not just be only on the when you want to get involved with talking to the people. When you're on the pitch, tell us by your conduct. Tell us by your endeavor. Tell us by how you hold. Not when you go and bring ladies. We were told how some of them bring ladies, keep them in different rooms of the hotels. That is not commitment. That doesn't show that you understand the business of wearing the national team colors. I hope for a foreign coach, these players will not even do worse than what they have been reported to have done over time. We pray for them. We hope that they understand that not going to the World Cup for the second time, the amount of money the Nigerian Football Federation will miss for development. For every World Cup, the qualifier as of the Qatar template, you are looking at $10 million. That's good money for Nigerian football. Yeah. Just qualifying. And then you make progression, 17 million, all of that. United States will be bigger. At a time when we are looking at a 200 billion sports industry with media rights for global sports hitting $56 billion, we are not close to it. We're not close to it, and that's the pain. Okay. I think we need to look deeply into some of the things that have been written in the past. Sit down and read. You cannot lead if you cannot read. We have too many reports. All this holding a stakeholders conference is a waste of time. There are so many things to do, and I'm happy that somehow, somewhere, incidents or disappointments are beginning to bring out things that we need ordinarily have to have with us. Okay. As they say sometimes, if you can't get it right, go left.
Okay, Mitch, 2 things. I want to ask you this based on what they are saying. Are you saying if we see Nigerians who are kids of Nigerian descent who are exceptionally good and want to play for Nigeria, shouldn't we invite them into the team?
Why not? Why shouldn't you invite them? They have a right to the fatherland. They hold the Nigerian passport. They have a right to be part of it all. I am only saying that find a base. We don't have a base yet. We don't have a base yet. Look at the defense line of the Super Eagles. If we had good time, if Finidi had good time to prepare that defense line, and then you have that attack, that the most awesome attack on paper in Africa today. If you had that attack and you have a defense, I don't see any team that will shackle us. But what have we done? It's all looking for a rescue manager, a magician. It doesn't happen that way. You must plan. You must prepare. Okay. And you must be faithful to it.
Okay, Mitch. All right, I agree with you. We just have to plan for us to get there. The lines are already open. I've got the numbers are not there, but those who have numbers are already calling. I'm told that we have Owolafe. Before we talk the league, because that is why I'm going to hit Mitchell. I have a parkour for him. Owolafe, briefly, in 60 seconds, let us have your thoughts.
Hello.
Hello, go on, Owolafe.
Yeah, thank you very much. I really appreciate your program today for inviting the gentleman, Mitchell. All what Mitchell says is just really the history. Because what I'm trying to say is that I really appreciate. You understand? I really appreciate what Mitchell said. But the problem, what the coach I need, me personal, I prefer the new Saudi Arabia coach. Forget his name. That guy that he played against Argentina, 1-0. If you remember in the World Cup. That coach or communique. That is it. Let communique assist him so that he can be a Nigerian and he be a foreign coach. I'm telling you, instead of Finidi, it was among people. Play 2 matches draw. Why? I don't understand. I don't really understand. And then just play joke. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Owolafe. That is Finidi, which is Yadacho, and then Ndidi. Mitch. Okay, we are talking about the base. The base has to be the NPFL. By next week, you shall be going for a crunch. How do you see? Let us see. Can we have, before I hit Mitch, let us see how the fixtures, the results and fixtures that we have, because some games were played yesterday, some we played today. That is week 37 in a week, in a 38 game changer. If we can have them, and then I will know where Mitchell is. I know where I am, and I will Mitchell, calm down. I will tell you where you are. Can we have the league table, the result first? Can we have the results? If it is, I know it is ready. I've seen it. Can we have it so that we can look at it? But Mitchell, while we are waiting for okay, so now while we are waiting,
I can give you the results while you wait for the graphics. I know that Rivers United slammed Gombe United 6-0.
6-0, yes. I know that. Okay, Rivers did win 6-0.
You know that Plateau played a draw?
Yes, they played a draw. Which other one? Doma United. Katsina United beat Doma United 2-0.
That is the most painful. It's the most painful loss. You know the big thing for me. Doma United started like a house on fire.
On fire.
They came from the...
Yes. You are on mute. Go on.
Of course. Suddenly, when the league went on break, they came back. The Doma became Mado.
So Doma became Mado. Now, I have one of your pictures. I don't know if Mitchell's picture is ready. Can we have it? I have one of Mitchell's pictures. Can we have it? Okay, so it will come soon. It will come soon. But Mitchell, looking at the league now, briefly, what did you make of that encounter between Rangers and Enyimba. We're all, all here clapping, rejoicing at the kind of turnout that was there. Of course, I know that in Enugu, Enyimba has as much supporters as Rangers. So basically, it's like when Stars is playing, when the Shooting Stars is playing Stars in Ibadan, and you see 50 Molue drive from Lagos to Ibadan, and then before even the Shooting Stars fans start entering into the stadium, the Superstars, they've already driven around everywhere. What did you make of that encounter?
Ken, I've been asking myself, where did these fans come from? These Nigerian fans we saw inside the cathedral. I have never seen a sea of heads like that, where even the overflow was more than usual. Yeah. Even with going to train stewards, the stewards couldn't even hold them back. That was to be the celebration of the best of our league. But then, of course, the end didn't really get to brighten the color we had. And it was sad that Enyimba, the champions, really couldn't stay back to finish what was brilliantly started. And lessons have been learned. Of course, television has come back to the game, and many fans who want to see the best of the game can't always do that. And today it's not different. At Onikon, you want to see whether Enyimba can still bring back the fire and defend the title till the last day. But for me, that game in Enugu was perhaps a fitting example of what we want to see when the league gets its full balance. But of course, minus the last-minute walkout and of the kind of decision and controversy that followed all of that. We can avoid that. It's avoidable. But that crowd brought the spectacle alive. And the players gave us something to cherish until that last moment in added time. And it happens like that. In Kano, it's the same thing. In Benin, I wonder what is happening to the Benin fans. Maybe insurance need to do something different for them to come out like the fans of Enugu came out. Yeah. Because I want to come out to see whether they can help Sporting Lagos. It's sad when you look at the privately owned clubs facing this relegation threat. It's disturbing.
So, and I think the only exception is Remo Stars, that is, at the other side of the divide. When you say you wanted to have a question for him.
Their brothers, their young brother coming on board. The young brother of Remo Stars, Beyond Limit. Yeah, they will join the.
But of course, I mean, I don't think we can have both teams at the NPFL at NPFL if they have the same ownership.
Why? How do you know they have the same ownership? How do you prove it?
I do not know a time that is a younger brother. So if they okay, unless if they don't have, unless if they don't have.
Well, same father, different mother.
because you there, you don't say it's their brother that's coming in, and then probably maybe that assume so that we're outside the same ownership. But like I think the MPFL probably said you cannot have the same ownership. I remember the Abia Warriors and Enyimba. I think the government has to leave one so that they can handle the other one. Aqua United and what is the other team there? Dakada FC, and also we also have that situation there and how it is. So probably not that both of them have come in. Maybe in Europe, we're having a Manchester United and the Nice. You understand? City and Girona and all those things and that work out. But that is what FIFA says, that you cannot have the same ownership in other day because they don't want all these compromises.
And I think before I ask my question, that is where my issue comes from. That number 4 in that communique is just a needless rigmarole. I say this because your whole Federation's Cup or Federation President, whatever cup, how have you successfully managed it? For like 2 years, we never played that competition. And even this year, we're having the same team meeting at the first knockout stage from the same state, the same ownership structure, Team A and Team B. So if the Federation that cannot even structure their own competition, and in the past, we're exporting players to other nations, players that were groomed and train in Nigeria here. Peter Olisadebe left Nigeria to go and play for the Polish national team, took them to their World Cup in 2002. So, but now you want to leverage on players who have been trained by other nations. You saw you saw Michael Folorunsho yesterday actually getting the man of the match award yesterday for the Italian national team. So let's develop the players here and not rely on the players who are developed for us by other nations, which is the escapist Michel was talking about by the NFL. Develop your own football, develop the structure, and want the players to export as we used to have in the days old.
Okay, Mitch, I think let us see. I don't know if this is somebody says the picture doesn't look like you. I thought it was you, but let us see. I have a picture of Mitch. Who is this? I don't know.
That is our heartland.
Who is that guy? Who is that guy? Mitch, who is this? That's who?
That's the sports solutionist.
Mitch, you see, I told you I have a uppercut for you. What is happening to Heartland? What is happening? Look at you there, decked on Heartland and everything. Just look how beautiful it is. But then you have to think of how to come.
Hope is there. Hope is there, Ken. Hope is there. Hope is there. Hope is there.
That you will come back.
Let's believe that we can bounce back. But how long can we keep bouncing back? Politics, lack of dedication to excellence. Heartland used to be a team that was fighting for Champions League every year. I mean, we're talking about qualifying.
Yeah,
we're talking about
playing Champions League final. Yes.
In 2009, as a co-chairman of the Champions League committee, we reached the final of the African Champions League. We lost to Tepe Mazembe, Tupisang Mazembe in Lubumbashi on a away goal. With my brother's governor, Ikedio Hakim. The first leg in Owerri, we were looking for him, we didn't see him. And Tepe scored a goal. We fought and won 2-1. Then on the final day in Lubumbashi, they came with presidential aircraft. I told them, you cannot carry a cup from this place.
Mitch, but this is what we're talking about here. You just talked about a governor who was there before. I mean, and then you look at the result then. But then did the governor put a kind of a permanent structure that will outlive his tenure in office while he was there? He was there by maybe 4 or 8, I don't know, as governor of the state, and he did pump state fund into that. Yes.
Fanu Ndubuke was trying to put a structure there. The politics of the times denied us that opportunity. He won the FA Cup twice, Fanu Ndubuke, like other sports journalists. Entubon Paul Bassi and Nakena carrying teams to promotion and perhaps carrying them up back. But you see, they didn't give him the chance to set up a fitting structure in Imo State. So let's leave that for another time.
Mitch, I'm not leaving that. Mitch, I'm not leaving that because why I'm not leaving it is this. It is the fundamentals of what you have looked up. Build it, and it is the league. If we don't build the league, whatever it is, I believe that. I would applaud the Hakim administration that you have just said here, because he was there for a minimum of 4 years. I don't know how long he was there.
Let me just give you a picture.
Yeah.
Iwayan left a good sizable chunk of land, the Naze area.
Okay.
Where you will have the Heartland camp, the Heartland training camp. Now, if it developed, that would have been the perfect headquarters for Heartland. You can't have a team, no structure on ground.
You see, Mitch, do you know, I never knew there was a place called Naze. I know they call it the Naze millionaires, but I never knew there is a place there in you that is Naze or something. I don't know. You just say
no. Because that's training. That's where they used to train. Okay. If you go there, you see beautiful land mass.
Okay.
You can take at least 4 good pitches.
Wow.
And then you build a hotel. That will have done it for Heartland. Then you come to a stadium, one of the best stadiums put by the past, the Dan Stadium. They've left it, used it for politics, and now it's is a real shadow of its old self and named after a great Nigerian player. It's a shame. We need to do something. But I think Hope Uzodinma used to be a chairman of a sports federation. He should be involved with the youth of Imo. If Imo excels as the #1 educational state in terms of results, Imo should also excel in sports. And Heartland should be where the heart is truly beating.
But to be fair to you, I know I hit you before. The Heartland Queens did well this season. I mean, they qualified for the the Super Six. The Queens did well.
They were the spoilers. They spoiled it for Rivers Angels. Even in the last day, they were fighting without anything to gain. They were still fighting.
Yes, but
sincerity of competition.
That is the spirit. That is the honest. That is the transparency that that we look out for. You understand? You talk about Katsina Doma. You understand? Amabu was okay for Katsina. You don't really need this point, and Doma need to survive. But we saw how they went out there and played the game. I think that integrity is part of what we are building on here. Mitch, before we just let you go finally, we'll talk about this code of conduct for the players. And I wanted to briefly look at what happened yesterday between one of the Super Eagles players in his reaction to an allegation that we have, for the first I just found, was unfounded, against Finidi George. What do you make of that particular incident?
I believe that Victor Osimhen was not well informed. He didn't even do his homework. As an African Player of the Year, he must have a team around him who can help him find out what exactly is true. But beyond that, he had access to a coach who used to be an assistant coach in a team he played, all through a competition. So why don't you call him and find out? It is not fair. What he has done, indeed, is really taking another side of him to show us that he's really not the model some of us try to put him in. He has to really work hard at his image. He didn't do justice to himself. And I think it's a lesson to other players also, that they don't just react to what they hear or read. They should try to confirm, ascertain. It's like a football team. Before you even get to a match, you ask a coach, am I in the team? What position am I going to play? How do I want to play? You ask these basic questions. They help you. They guide you. I think Osimhen went up. But it tells us again the agenda that was on ground in terms of how players these days determine the kind of coaches they want to work. Coaches who allow them the luxury of some of the shenanigans or indiscipline we have seen over time. It doesn't happen. Finidi knew some of them so well, and they were not comfortable with that. And it was only a matter of time for Finidi to build a new team. We hope any other Nigerian who steps in will learn from the Finidi mishap and get to fashion a team that will be very, very disciplined. How many can Finidi? Osimhen cannot talk to Napoli. When the racial issue rose, I remember how some of us came out forcefully to take a position against Napoli. They apologized, they retracted because of Victor Osimhen. We know how some of us worked hard to get him to become an African Player of the Year. It was a close fight. And even in Morocco, if he had gone to the Morocco, nobody would have complained. So those whose benevolent, whose palm kernel have been cracked by benevolent spirits should learn how to be humble.
Okay, Okafor wants to talk to us, including you, from Abia. Maybe it's from your, your whatever. Hello, Okafor, how are you?
That's Okorafor.
Okorafor, yes. Okorafor. Yes. All right, talk to Mitchell.
You see, the situation we are facing in Nigeria today is very simple. One, all the players that we want to bring from outside to play in Nigeria. You see, what we lack there is those what we call motivational theory. We don't have a pipeline. Like the players, when they come, they spend the money, their own money, and the glass house don't normally settle them. All these incentives they do, because if you say just to give somebody incentives, motivate that person, there's no how that person will not use his last blood to do any job for you. But here in Nigeria, that is why you see them when they go to any match, they play second. At the end of the day, suffering. Nigerians are suffering.
No, but Okorafor, to be fair to this FA, I think the issue of mass bonuses and everything, we've not had it for a very long time. Let's call a spade here. I don't, if it is a person of motivation, they are being paid their dues as at when due.
Any part of the world I've been to Nigeria, we have to do the needful. When we fail to do the needful, we cannot achieve whatever. It's very, very disheartening that we have experts, authorities, but when we go to outside to play anything, any game, we start fumbling. Honestly, it's not healthy for us because football is something and other games are what Nigerians want.
All right.
To move and ginger, move and baby. Good afternoon.
All right, thank you, Okorafor. Mitch, thank you so much. We have just about 120 seconds to go. Just one word so that I can round up from my guys here.
To wish a very happy birthday to a man who is the Prince of the Niger, a man who has given so much to this country and still the one who helps to pray for some of us. We're talking about Pastor Chris Okotie. Today is his birthday, and on Father's Day, what more can we do than to rejoice with those who make us find our true bearing? Happy birthday, my pastor. All right, thank you, Mitch. Hope to catch you, our solution finder. Won't know when we are in that naughty spot. We call Mobolaji Johnson in the place. So, Mitch, goodbye. Okay.
Yes, Ken, this is the same country that guys, stars were born, bred, and exported to the world. Francis Obikwelu, Gloria Alonso, Peter Olisadebe. So Daniel legally, so I don't see reason why it must depend on importing players for national team. Let us build our players here, and if needed, more from the outside. All right. 1 minute. Nadim?
Yeah. Yesterday, Nadim Bajrami for Albania scored the fastest goal against Italy at the ongoing Euros. Like the game just started, we were still deliberating, and bam, it was a goal. Okay, one more thing. I'm just talking to anybody that's willing to listen. Social media is not real life. When you hear things, when you see things, before you rush out there and give your opinion on stuff, make sure you confirm. So you don't make a fool of yourself, really.
Social media is not real life. Most of what you see in the social media is make-believe. Some just want that clickbait, and they put you in trouble if you do not find out what the truth is. Whatever it is, I'm Ken Ochonogo. God bless Nigeria.